All right, well, I'm having a day. As you can see from the little chart there on the upper right, right here, I've missed a bunch of puzzles. But what I'm laughing about is that I was recording myself missing those puzzles, and the mic was off the whole time. So I realized at the last, right after I failed the last puzzle, I realized that the microphone had been off the entire time. Worse than that, I spent the first 3 minutes analyzing the first puzzle from the wrong color. I thought I was supposed to be playing with the white pieces, and I was supposed to be playing with the black pieces, so I wasted all that time too. This is not a good day for me so far, but I'm going to go ahead because I am a glutton for punishment. I'm going to click the next button, and I'm going to keep trying. Here, I do have a check, and it is protected by this knight. The only legal move for the king would be here. And then, what would I do? I mean, I would have a follow-up check, but then the king could just take the pawn. So it's probably not that. Once the king moved here, I would have a follow-up check with the knight, which would be mate, because the pawn covers that square and the knight would cover that square and that one. So that's got to be it. Forced checkmate. I got one. All right, well, that's my second one. I don't even remember getting that other one right. It was so many mistakes ago. Puzzle mistakes as well as technological and life mistakes. So probably shouldn't complain. Much worse things could be happening to me. Next, 1948. Let's see. Was Truman president in 1948? I wasn't around then. I know I look old, getting some gray around here, but I do have a check, but the pawn would just recapture that, so that's not it. I don't think. Oh, what's that knight doing way over there? Not entirely sure what I should be doing here. Wondering about this. What about moving my A pawn? Wait, am I even looking at the right direction? Okay, it does say black to move. Okay. And yes, this is the correct direction. Okay. Should have checked that first. I'm thinking of that because that pawn can't go anywhere. That pawn can't go anywhere. And that pawn can only go here, which, if I had already made this move, wouldn't matter because my next move would be here, check. That would be forcing this, and then I would do there, and that would be mate. I don't think anything else would matter. A6, setting up B5. They can capture this pawn. They can move these pawns. They can move this pawn. But they cannot move the king currently. And still would not be able to move the king if I did this. So no matter what else they do, and that would just be helping block off that square. Then check. Only move is C takes B5. Then A takes B5 is mate. Two in a row. Maybe the mic being on is the secret. If I'm not actually recording, whether I know it or not, I can't solve a puzzle. That seems to be the case here. All right, next, 1953. Well, I do have a check, but it's not a great one. It looks like if I could get this bishop safely out of the way, or even not safely out of the way, then I would have a back rank mate. That's what it looks like. Because they could block, but then I would just capture. So, and my bishop is guarding that square in case they block first. For example, if I were to move this bishop here and then they saw I was going for a back rank mate, then I could just take the rook with my bishop. I also wonder if I couldn't just go here with this bishop, guarding this square. This one's already guarding that square. And then that. But that's my question, is does it matter where I put this bishop? Wait, is there something even better? Because that's not like really forcing, right? Like if I went here, for example, black can just move a pawn up, right? If I go here or here, they can just move one of these pawns up, so I can't back rank them. But what if, I know this seems crazy, but what if I give them a check they cannot refuse, because legally they have to take it, and then I say check here with the bishop on f5. Because then if they go back, it's checks all the way down and I win. Or if they block, then I would just, I guess, take it. No, if they, no. Check, have to capture. Check with the bishop. If they block with the rook, then it's back rank. For sure. That's got to be it. Now it's back rank. Three in a row. Thank you for watching. I'm going to keep going. We're only at 7 minutes. Oh, that's right. All the other minutes were wasted with my microphone off and me losing puzzles. Okay. I do have a queen over there. That's handy. The knight is in trouble, but what happens if I check here? The king takes my knight, and then that's mate. Right? I think so. No, because then the king, no, that's, yeah, my pawn guards that square. So what happens, let's see. Queen to f7 check. There is no possibility of blocking because they're on squares next to each other. There is no black piece that can capture my queen on f7. The only legal move then would be here or here or here. So that's 3 legal moves. Let's highlight those in orange. 3 legal moves that the king would have. Now, if it took my knight, this would be checkmate. But it doesn't have to take the knight. That's what I just realized. Okay, check. King does not have to take the knight. King can go here. Then I could check again. Then I could take the knight. Then I would say checkmate here. Okay, so that all works out. But what if it goes in front of the knight? Oh no, that's still check. So wow, that's still check from where my queen is right now. Okay, that's my candidate move, but just in case, I'm going to look around and see what else, because I don't think it's this to protect the knight. Because then, this dirty old so-and-so is going to put me in check, and that's bad. I don't think running away with the knight is the option, because then they're going to put me in check. Probably there, is my guess. I mean, that might be okay too. But either way, I can't go here because of the knight, so it would have to go here, and then the queen would come over here, and that would be checkmate. So okay, that's the thing. If I don't check them now, and check, I'm going to be a checkmate. So it's got to be this. Okay. Now that's what I had said I would do. But then the king has the choice of coming back or taking the knight. If I go here, check on g8, king captures my knight. Then that's not checkmate because the king can come here. And in fact, it could go there first, but I don't know why it would. Wait a minute. My thinker's going off. What if I checked with the rook? The king cannot go here or there. It would be forced to capture the rook. And then that would be checkmate. Well, it's trying to teach me about sacrifices. Oh, I did not get the target time of 35 seconds on that one. No, sir. Let's, okay, they want to trade queens. Wait, no, yeah, trade queens. I don't think I want to trade queens. What if, what about check? Just gets out of check. So, not great. What are my other options? Well, not a lot of great options, looks like. I mean, it would be ideal if my queen was right there, right? But I don't think there's a really good way to get my queen right there. And at this point, it looks like we're even on material. So a queen trade would not be horrible. I'm missing an e-pawn. They're missing the c-pawn. But, oh, and I'm missing my a-pawn as well. I used to have an a-pawn. So they're actually up a pawn. But other than that, we're even on material. But I am the attacking side. In general, one of the rules I learned from the Jeremy Silman book, the attacker doesn't want to trade pieces. The defender wouldn't mind trading pieces if it diffuses the attack. So I think that's not the answer here. Let me pause. I'm going to pause this and think about it for a minute. Well, I've given it some thought, and I think that's right. As the attacking player, I'm the one headed toward the king. Then trading pieces is not what I want at this time, because that just takes the sting out, or debangs, if you will, my attack. The defending player is offering a peace trade, a major peace trade, in order to do that. But that leaves me with, what do I do? And one thing I can do is check. That's a forcing move. In this case, there is only one legal response. The king would have to go to g8. I would not have a great follow-up. The only follow-ups that I see to that are this, which is just a clean bishop sacrifice to say check. But it looks really easy for black to get out of that. They could recapture with the queen. They could recapture with the rook, or recapture with the king. I don't know which of those would be better, but I'm sure black would pick one of those, right? If I first check here, which is safe, but the king would just move, and then check here, that's bad, right? Because the king's just, all those pieces are going to swarm it. So, check, king moves. The only thing that I see left is queen sacrifice. It's entering my head that the last few puzzles have all been sacrifices of major pieces. So it's trying to tell me something. Queen sacrifice. This pawn would not be able to retake because the king would be, this pawn is pinned, because remember the king has moved. This pawn, if it recaptured, would allow this pawn to move forward, which would be checkmate. So I think that's the answer, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay. This pawn is pinned from my bishop. This pawn is in the way of this one. So I'm going to do this. Fingers crossed. Checkmate. Oh my goodness. I'll just tell you this now. I will never see that in a game. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope that someday, a year from now, when I'm in a similar situation in an actual game, I'll be like, wait, after this check, that pawn's going to be pinned. And then I can just sacrifice my queen for a pawn because of this possible pawn move to a checkmate, a pawn move that's not currently possible because there's a black pawn there. But the black pawn will have moved. That's a lot of visualization for somebody at my level. But I'm going to try another one. Possibly because I'm a glutton for punishment. Well, that's just a very rude threat against my queen. It makes me feel sad that they would want to harm my queen. Well, I could take it. And the king would be forced to recapture. Then I would have a check here. But then the king would just move up, right? To g2. And would I have a follow-up? I would have a follow-up for that. I would have a follow-up for that. Forking. Maybe. Lots of forking going on. Let's try it. Remember, sacrifice is the name of the game. If I know my ABBA songs. And I don't. Okay. Now do I take with the knight? Or do I take with the rook? If I take with the rook, then the king takes my knight. So that's not good. So I should take this with my knight, right? Or should I say check again? Should I check again? No, because then he takes my knight, right? I mean, I would. So I think I've got to take that rook with my knight. 76. Look at that. All right. I'm going to stop now. Thank you for bearing with me. And I'm a little relieved that you missed the first 13 or more minutes, 16 minutes of me failing a bunch of puzzles without the mic on and not knowing which color I was supposed to be playing with. But thank you for watching.